and sultry diva with a refreshing energy. She's an original individual and a creator of her own universe. Now, Penny is a supporter of the peace and truth movement, individuality, equality, freedom of information, and things that revolve around making this world a better place. Isn't that nice? Her goal is to use her passion for words, music, and self-expression to plant seeds that will grow to contribute to the change that the world needs. I think that sounds pretty positive and delicious. So I think we should all give her an extremely positive and delicious welcoming. Let's make a lot of noise and make her feel really welcome to this stage. Give it up for Penny Purr. Woo!
Hi. Okay, so just to rock the boat and to set your mind afloat, I'm going to quote an important note that I once wrote. I once saw a little girl walking to school with her 3 older siblings and her grandfather. She was very young and obviously still had a lot to learn, but still wise enough to see the beauty in the world. She was frozen in step by a buttercup flower blowing in the wind. And as she slowly started to figure out how and why and everything that you wonder, the grandfather picked her up and rushed her off to school. It was at this point that I realized how it has become possible for everyone in this world to miss the truth of the beauty, or the beauty that is the truth. Not because it's not there, but because we are taught to ignore it in the urgency of what we are led to believe is life. I will forever encourage my daughter to pursue and appreciate the wonders of the world. Because once upon a day, I survived pay to pay. And people would say that's the cost you have to pay for wanting to play. But I didn't join this vision. I held too much suspicion, for the point of every mission seemed to ruin our condition. And so I protested, and now my passion has been invested in shining light upon the truth and to educate the youth. Because knowledge is the richest currency we will ever own, to learn and understand things about things that are unknown. And as you start to wonder, you'll probably find you always knew the things they tried to show to you to change your point of view. Because when I searched the world for answers, in the end I found the answers were connected to the heartbeat in the ground. And no matter where you search, the same thing will always be found. You need to look inside yourself to hear the heartbeat of the sound. And this was probably the moment that I decided for her to have an alter ego and name her Penny Purr. And while some are more likely to call me Aphrodite, the point is it doesn't matter what my name might or might not be. I have things to say and facts to share, truth to spread and knowledge to bear, and I don't care if you don't want to hear, because denying that there's air doesn't mean that it's not there. And when I chose to realize the truth before my eyes, the biggest surprise was the self-sabotage in disguise. But opening up to the unseen taught me to fly through electric dreams, where everything's not what it seems, and you can discover what life really means. And when things are distracting me, all I need is the simple key that there is no reality and I can be whoever the fuck I want to be. That's when yearning deep inside of me continues waiting patiently for the day I choose to set it free, to ride through the cosmos on my pegacorn called Peggy. It's at this point when people think that I'm high, with my head up in the sky, even though they don't know how or why I fly at the speed of pi. But they only judge because they don't know enough about my land above, where we survive on sharing love. And all the forces encourage you to do the things that you want to do. And no one will argue, because you are you and I am me. And we see truth in different things. And non-believers have constant fevers as the deceivers make them slaves on the levers. And it's not my job to make you see the strength and positivity, it's just a passion in my heart, portrayed in the form of art, spoken to guide you to the start of a better part. I only wish to inspire your mind to admire the truth and desire within the fire of finding persistence within the existence of the resistance. Because we're all links in a chain of life that's a game, where some fight for fame while others spread blame. Me, I'm just ashamed that I never knew what I in society do. So I hold my esoteric view and I continue to spread the news of the universal conscious few. And they're only words from my perspective to help a collective achieve an objective. To be effective, you need to be receptive. All it takes is affirmation and to thank an unseen nation for allowing the world to tune into your universal station, to heed a message and read the information. Because I want freedom in this world for the peace of mind, the peace they're trying to keep to themselves, that belongs to mankind. And people on the grind, you don't need to be so blind. You can leave that life behind. You slave 9 to 5 each day just to earn a little pay, to buy something to take the pain away from working another day in a life that shouldn't be that way. Why do you think that this is okay? I don't, and I don't want my daughter growing up that way. So that's why I've come here today. And often some make stands like this, and often they're declined. But one day we will conquer them, and true secrets we will find. And by them, I mean the devils in disguise, who take your tax, spend days relaxed, and tell the masses lies. You can hear it in their speeches now, and you can see it in their eyes. They're panicking as they can see the people start to rise. And while some are too far driven into the game of life, not knowing their internal struggle causes them more strife. Innocent are just suffering for only what they need, thanks to these corporations that feed into the greed. And as they plead, your heart will bleed, and hopefully now I've planted a seed that sprouts to knowledge beyond all you knew, guiding you to bigger things within the universal view. Because no one can possess a thing, a person, or some land. You may own it on a piece of paper, gripped tight in your hand, but the one false thing that blinds us to the truth we cannot see is that everyone and everything exists to be free. And if you tried to cage something, when you've found it, eventually you'll find it'll leave you 6 feet underground. And if you accept this and if you can't accept this and continue to fall deep, or if you're wanting ownership, tears you're gonna weep. Acceptance will come one day, but the choice is yours alone, to travel down a path oneself and find light on your own. And when you've traveled down this path, your mind is free to roam. And then you find you hold the key to the faith within the zone and the secrets to success that all the greatest beings have known. And that is when we can begin to build a better home. And I only speak the truth to those who want to hear it, not to those with their minds shut that decide they want to fear it. Because I can't help the way my eyes perceive the ways the rich used to deceive. I take good in with the bad, and I thank the unknown for the fact that I can. I use the power of my mind to turn water into wine, and yes, it's just a metaphor for the life I lived and live no more. And you can interpret this as you see fit, because it's you who must decipher it. For what I say is what I think about Mother Nature on the brink of destruction in the face of a greedy breed called the human race. Living in a world run by subconscious greed, hurting Mother Nature for things we don't need. So when you have a moment that isn't very nice, it's strange for me to say so, but try to review it twice. Because when good comes to you, there is always a price. But every time you get bad, there's a good hidden within the vice. And at least now I can see the truth directly through the lies. Now I don't love the things that I really should despise. So when they say the good always comes with the bad, look deeper into everything and see what you actually had. And sometimes people will stare at you like you might be nuts. Different maybe, okay, I'm fucking crazy. But I don't give a fuck. Because I succeed by thinking this way, not just by good luck. So you take a page out of my book and try not to give a fuck. I'm sorry if that offended you. It wasn't my intention. But then again, you're the one giving in to your negative perception. You see, I am most overjoyed if even just one twit takes in what I say today and makes something from it. Because for me it started with a thought that was followed by an action, induced from the need for me to feel some satisfaction. From there, the bigger changes started, devils sending distractions. All of this just to feel something within the interactions. And innovators of ideas that creators have no fears, to start a revolution and protect a constitution, they are awesome. And I don't want to be a nuisance, but I just want to put my 2 cents in for those who choose to fuse it. And if you somehow confuse it or find that you start to lose it, then you're still heading down the path to find out how to use it. It's just a basic form of higher learning for the ones who feel an intense yearning, for the ones that feel that they are lost and yet can feel their passion burning. And when there's no more blame and no more fault, no more sugar and no more salt, no more sour, no more hate, that's when we've reached our fate and no longer need to liberate. And while many tend to think and talk about this often, by the time the words are making sense, the whole point has been forgotten. And certain things flow through their minds sometimes, and then we can remember, we can be open to the energy, or we can return to sender. And although there is a lingering of negative connotation, I'm only trying to share with you some useful information. To always know within your heart that you are in control. You're the deliverer of your fate and the master of your soul. So stop worrying about your share and the colour you want your hair. And then if you really dare, try to see what's out there. And if you think you know all there is, then please just tell me this. What people lived in Atlantis, and what happened to the world of bliss, and the Japanese pyramids, or the caves beneath the snow, the hangar in Nevada, or other lessons from Plato, the message from Ezekiel, or the scrolls within the sea, messages of the dead, or brought forth tonight by me. My name is Purr, and some call me Cleopatra. I guess that's based on beauty of the knowledge I throw at you. Heed my words as if they were a motherfucking rapture. I'm out to save the ones who hear me and want the capture. Passion is my fashion and I wear it with class. If you don't believe me, that's cool, check out my ass.